Psalms 65:1 through 66:20. Devotional focus verse. Come and hear, all ye that fear God, and I will declare what he hath done for my soul. Psalm 66:16. When I was young, my family went to a church where I learned about Jesus and became familiar with simple Bible stories. However, in high school I stopped attending church, not seeing any particular value in religion. For quite a number of years I had nothing to do with God. In my 30s, I was invited to an Apostolic Faith Church service. Thankfully, I didn't brush the invitation aside, because during that service I heard people stand up and share what God had done in their lives. I had never heard a testimony before, and the fact that people could have a real connection with God impressed me. I remember thinking, there is an aspect of religion I had no idea existed. The testimonies caused me to want to find out more. Although I didn't immediately comprehend salvation, in time God saved me. Then I truly understood what those who testified were talking about. Looking back at my childhood church attendance, it became clear that while I had obtained some knowledge about God in my early years, I had never experienced a real connection with God. A change in one's heart is critical, and salvation makes that change. The personal accounts I heard given in that first service, as well as in the many services I have attended since, exemplify the message of today's focus verse. Testimonies are declarations of what God has done for us personally. There is great potential in these declarations. Our words can draw others toward God and encourage fellow believers. As Christians, we are instructed to witness to others. As we do our best to faithfully communicate what God has done in our hearts and lives, God will bless us for our obedience. And who knows, our words may be the tool that God uses to draw another soul to Himself. Background information. Psalm 65. Psalm 65 is a composition of David expressing worship and adoration. The superscription indicates that it was both a psalm, in Hebrew, a mizmor, and a song, shir. While the words are similar in meaning, the word mizmor likely indicates a musical accompaniment. Addressed to the chief musician, this psalm was probably sung during harvest time. The theme of Psalm 65 is gratitude to God. In the first section, see verses 1 through 4, David highlighted the public worship of God in Zion, spelled S-I-O-N, a variant spelling of Z-I-O-N, and in his holy temple. David pointed ahead to the provision of atonement in his statement that thou shalt purge them, our transgressions, away. See verse 3. In the next section, David spoke of God's awesome deeds in nature and in all the nations. See verses 5 through 8. In the last portion of the psalm, David told of God's provision for a bountiful harvest. See verses 9 through 13. Psalm 66. Psalm 66 issues a call for all to worship God for His deliverance at the time of the Exodus from Egypt and for His more recent provisions. Like Psalm 65, it is addressed to the chief musician and is designated as both a psalm and a song, but in this case no author is named. This psalm of thanksgiving has two clear sections. The division is indicated at verse 13 by a change of pronoun from the plural to the singular. This suggests that the first section was a national liturgy relating to public or corporate worship, while the second section reflected the author's personal devotion to God. The statement in verse 4, all the earth shall worship thee, is a prophetical allusion to God's final triumph over His enemies and the uniting of all people in worship of Him. The word nations in verse 7 is a translation of the Hebrew word goyim and refers to the Gentiles. In the second section of the psalm, see verses 13 through 20, the specific offerings named in verse 15 were all acceptable peace offerings, a type of sacrifice that denoted thanksgiving and love for God. See Leviticus 3, 1 through 17. The author's public testimony of what he hath done for my soul is summarized in his closing praise for answered prayer. See verse 16. Conclusion. God deserves our appreciation for what He has done and continues to do in our lives. Sharing our testimonies is one way we can give praise and honor to Him.
Psalm 65. Praise waiteth for thee, O God, in Sion, and unto thee shall the vow be performed. O thou that hearest prayer, unto thee shall all flesh come. Iniquities prevail against me, as for our transgressions, thou shalt purge them away. Blessed is the man whom thou choosest, and causest to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of thy house, even of thy holy temple. By terrible things in righteousness wilt thou answer us, O God of our salvation, who art the confidence of all the ends of the earth, and of them that are afar off upon the sea. Which by his strength setteth fast the mountains, being girded with power. Which stilleth the noise of the seas, the noise of their waves, and the tumult of the people. They also that dwell in the uttermost parts are afraid at thy tokens. Thou makest the outgoings of the morning and evening to rejoice. Thou visitest the earth, and waterest it, thou greatly enrichest it with the river of God, which is full of water. Thou preparest them corn, when thou hast so provided for it. Thou waterest the ridges thereof abundantly, thou settlest the furrows thereof, thou makest it soft with showers, thou blessest the springing thereof. Thou crownest the year with thy goodness, and thy paths drop fatness. They drop upon the pastures of the wilderness, and the little hills rejoice on every side. The pastures are clothed with flocks, the valleys also are covered over with corn, they shout for joy, they also sing. Psalm 66. Make a joyful noise unto God, all ye lands. Sing forth the honor of His name, make His praise glorious. Say unto God, how terrible art thou in thy works! Through the greatness of thy power shall thine enemies submit themselves unto thee. All the earth shall worship thee, and shall sing unto thee, they shall sing to thy name. Selah. Come and see the works of God, He is terrible in His doing toward the children of men. He turned the sea into dry land, they went through the flood on foot, there did we rejoice in Him. He ruleth by His power forever, His eyes behold the nations, let not the rebellious exalt themselves. Selah. O bless our God, ye people, and make the voice of His praise to be heard. Which holdeth our soul in life, and suffereth not our feet to be moved. For thou, O God, hast proved us, thou hast tried us, as silver is tried. Thou broughtest us into the net, thou laidst affliction upon our loins. Thou hast caused men to ride over our heads, we went through fire and through water, but thou broughtest us out into a wealthy place. I will go into thy house with burnt offerings, I will pay thee my vows. Which my lips have uttered, and my mouth hath spoken, when I was in trouble. I will offer unto thee burnt sacrifices of fatlings, with the incense of rams, I will offer bullocks with goats. Selah. Come and hear, all ye that fear God, and I will declare what He hath done for my soul. I cried unto Him with my mouth, and He was extolled with my tongue. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord will not hear me. But verily God hath heard me, He hath attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be God, which hath not turned away my prayer, nor His mercy from me.